Greetings and welcome to Who Did It? Gamification is described as incorporating game design and game-like experiences into learning processes. A chapter on crime was incorporated into the Form 5 English KSSM textbook to aid the government's anti-crime effort when the CFR was first introduced to Form 4 and Form 5 in early 2021. Form 5 students are expected to be at B1 level upon leaving Form 5, meaning they should know at least 2,200 to 3,000 words in English. Now, why who did it? Students are interested in justice-related occupations, but they find vocabulary learning demanding and time-consuming. Most of the students studying at SMK Datuk Haji Panglima Jakarullah Sempurna are Bajau and Suluk students, and students from Sidma College are Iban Bidayu and Malay from Lundu, Serikai, Kapit, Baram, Kanawit, and Lubuk Antu. These students typically use their mother tongue in conversation, grow up in non-English speaking environments, and lack exposure to the language. This has led to insufficient vocabulary specifically on crime, which leads to aim of the study to innovate Who Did It as a gamification tool in improving secondary school and diploma learners' crime vocabulary. These are the objectives of Who Did It: to spell the crime word correctly, to comprehend the targeted crime words in the topic of crime correctly, to use the crime words to report crime activities. As for product description, it is a murder mystery game, fit as an enrichment or extension activity based on the KSSM syllabus. 3 levels of difficulty with every 5 correct vocabulary activities will reward you with clues to find the real murderer. The model was proven to be useful in developing game. Thus, it was used as a framework to develop Who Did It. In analysis phase, a needs analysis was conducted to find out the topic that students favored the most, an activity that students find most challenging. The questionnaire was adapted from a study conducted by Eliki et al. 2021. The questionnaire showed that students favored topic on crime and has mentioned that most of them prefer justice-related occupation. These students also struggled with doing vocabulary exercises in their new KSSM textbook. The needs analysis showed that students prefer topic on crime, and most of them faced difficulties in learning vocabulary due to rote memorization. Which is why the design for Who Did It was based on the theory of gamified learning. It was proposed that the presence of game elements would influence the level of motivation and thereby improve learning outcomes. In this case, learning crime vocabulary. The video shows the development of Who Did It. 0 cost needed, using only Microsoft PowerPoint. And believe it or not, the gamified learning tool was also validated.
Expert validations. There were two experts involved in validating WHODIDIT, a SISC Plus officer and an English lecturer with more than 10 years experience. Good feedbacks were received. Good clues to help students decipher to find the answers, and what an interesting game! Love the graphics and contents. And a few comments were given for improvisation. Need yes or no questions for less proficient group. Need to add words of encouragement when the students get the correct answers. Amendments were then made to fit the students' need. Yes or no questions were added as an easy level in the game, and words of encouragement and applause were added after each question was answered correctly. As you can see from the pictures, students were first asked to do a pretest before they played WHODIDIT. Next, the students were gathered at the computer lab to play WHODIDIT. Then, the students were asked to do a post-test after they played the game. In evaluation phase, a bar graph and a table were used to illustrate the comparison of the results for the pre-test and post-test. The pre-test result showed that students have not mastered crime vocabulary well. After WHODIDIT was incorporated into the lesson and post-test was conducted soon after, it was clear that there was an increase in the result. This showed that the students made progress in their crime vocabulary acquisition. Although there are other innovations of similar nature, WHODIDIT is focused on crime vocabulary. It caters to students with low to average proficiency level from Form 5 to Diploma. It is fun and it promotes peace in support of Sustainable Development Goal 16. It is also the first murder mystery game based on the new CFR textbook. For its practicality and usefulness, it is an offline game, so it can still be played even when students have internet connection problems. Students can play this game as many times as they want. Any wrong answer would lead to students needing to restart the game until they find the murderer. This allows students to repeat their learning, which enables knowledge retention. Next, it has game elements to enhance students' learning while increasing their engagement in a manner comparable to that of actual games. As students find the lesson interesting, they will be motivated to continue participating and they will acquire knowledge as they progress through the game. This game is also beneficial to students as they can be aware that a certain act is illegal and should not be committed. This can prevent such criminal activity in the future. Students can also use the correct words to report crime activity. For impact and testimonial, it can be used as an enrichment activity or extension activity in or outside the classroom. It can improve memory retention of crime vocabulary. It is an advantage for teachers to use as a teaching aid, and students' crime vocabulary improve based on post-tests. Several testimonials from the students is, "Fun, I want to play it again." "I learned many new words, teacher." "Can we play games like this again?" "Now I know the meaning of these words." For commercial value, first gamification learning tool on murder mystery for crime vocabulary learning aligned with CFR KSSM textbook. It is a game that can be played anywhere, offline or online. It can be used in police academy, career talk, counseling sessions, and co-curricular activity in school. Thank you.